Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. We are at Battelle Darby today to try to get us some bluegill. And as I'm looking here, I'm seeing 15 to 20 bass, all between 10 and 3 inches here, cruising the bank. So it may be a little tough getting the bluegill to bite today. They look a little scared. There's a lot of minnows hovering the bank here. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be using a cane pole here. So we've got an octopus size 10 hook, a little hard to even see, a little weight in the cane pole. So the way the cane pole is here, you got little things here and here to put your line on. So you just wrap that, we'll just unwrap this here. It's got little clips on it to hold it. We'll get this on the, we may have a little too much line here, but we'll adjust that once we get the, we'll look at it here. And then this one folds out, so it'll get long. This thing is about 13 feet. When it's all said and done here. So even though we got a lot of line, we're good. And I don't know if you guys can see how far that thing goes out there, but it goes out there a ton. So we're going to use a little piece of worm here. And we got a bucket here. We're going to try to catch 8 to 10 bluegill for our trip tomorrow. I'm starting a new series. I'm going to start trying to fish the I'm basically going to hit the top 8 spots in Ohio by one of the surveys there. And number 2 on the list is the Ohio River. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. Be on the lookout for that series. We're going to go to the Ohio River, which is the number 2 spot. And then we're going to go, we're going to try to hit all 8 spots this year, if we're able. We are into September here in Ohio, so the weather is going to start getting a little shady. But we will do what we can. Well, that hook is so small, I've already lost it here. I do got a little split shot on here. And I'm just using a little tiny piece of worm on this octopus size 10 hook. Now, cane poles, most people don't use them. I used them when I was little. A lot of times that's people's first introduction to fishing. You can also just use a stick. There's our setup right there. We're going to see, like I said, the bluegill look a little spooked. We're going to see how it goes. We're basically going to just dangle it. We're going to not even let it sink. We're just going to hold it in the water. I don't have a float on there. And again, these things are a little spooked. There's a lot of bass swimming through here. A lot of these smaller bluegills are hiding. not even at the bank. There's a little drop off here that I'm fishing above. We may have to go over to the other spot. Again, these bluegills are spooked. The water is down from the last time I was here a little bit. It's been very dry recently. All right, well, we caught our first bluegill here. We got us one. There we go. He's going in the bucket. You want to do the quick release, but that didn't work. Quick release is just where they fall off over the bucket. So again, we're looking for 8 to 10, depending on how well it goes here. There's one. I caught him a little more this direction. And as you can see, I probably have a little too much line on there, but now if we catch any bass, we'll turn those loose. Even if they were big enough to eat, I would not eat them. I would still turn them loose. Getting close to 6 o'clock here. It's starting to be more of the evening time. And again, we can put that thing right on the surface if we want. Just hold it there with this rod. It's 13 feet long, so there's a bass looking at it right now. We're not looking to catch those, but if you're a fisherman, anytime you catch a bass, even if it's a small one, you'll catch it. It's what we do, right? We just like to catch fish. This probably could have used a little float, maybe. I put the weight on there. Throw back over near this tree here. Back over this direction. They seem like they're right up underneath this tree, which with this setup it's a little hard to get to, but I might be able to drop it right down beside it here. See, I'm getting into the tree a little bit there. Definitely a lot slower than the few times I've been here. I think the bass has got them spooked. With the water going down, they've got less shallow water to hide in. Starting to be right to the deeper edge. Very surprised we have not caught a bass yet. As many as I'm seeing. Now guys, we may have to switch spots here. Seeing a lot of bass here still, a lot of small ones, but depending on the size of the bluegill, they get spooked. If they're real small bass, it's okay, but if they're spooked like that, there's probably some larger ones I'm not seeing, just a little bit offshore there. We'll see. I didn't bring any other bass stuff. I got some stuff in the Jeep. Probably could have caught a few small ones if we'd have brought a little rooster tail over here or something. I just wanted this to be 20-30 minutes, get a few, get some bluegill for bait for tomorrow, and then literally get out of here and either go to another spot and fish a little bit for some bigger fish, or just go back home. There's little tiny minnows, and I'm not sure what they are, but they are right on. They are literally in an inch of water here trying to hide. So it's something that just hatched out again. I don't know if it's a bluegill or what, or shad or something. Yeah, I'm seeing some, these bass are right up in here. Alright guys, we may need to check out the other spot or move on around. I've never been past this spot in this pond. I'll bring you guys back when we get to the next spot. All right, everybody, I went to another spot here. I did catch one small one, so we've got two. Give me 1 second here. Get you guys a view here. I think hopefully that's right above the water where I'm fishing. Pretty tight here with the trees above me. Hit a tree a little bit that time to cast. need that wind for sure. All right, guys. This thing is so long. Let's shorten it down a bunch here. There we go. There we don't go. There we go. All right, guys, let's move one more spot here. I'll film before I cast this time so you guys can see the next one. All right, guys. This is the spot I was trying to get to. There was somebody here. Let's go ahead and try it here. I want to extend this bottom piece back out. We've got a little more clearance above us. Whoa, my. Hopefully that caught on camera. Didn't get him, but man, some flippity, some action. I don't know if that was a small bass or what. Again, I don't have a float on there. I got a little tiny sinker. There we go. All right. Oh, he threw my worm off, you little prick. And he got me into the trees above me here. Let's get him in the. Let's get him in the bucket. This is the wrong bucket. We got to get him in. Ow! All right, that one got away. Good for him. He was a fighter. Oh. He wiggled and the hook got me. Got loose. And then looks like we've lost our piece of worm has crawled out the crack in this second bucket. So let's get us another worm here. Sacrificing a couple worms to try to get something a little bigger. Those worms will crawl around and they will get away on you. If you're not careful. All right. Again, guys, a size 10 octopus hook with a very small piece of worm on there. Literally cutting a one worm into like 5 pieces. Let's try to get this right this time here. Alright, lost my piece of worm. Let's get baited back up here. Thing's taking too long to miss fish. There was something big that came up over there. I don't know if you guys seen that on camera or not. A little farther out than we're casting, but I don't know what the, this is called a black widow. I lost my hook, I lost my bait again. I might have to dangle. It's called a black widow. It's 13 feet long. Looks like the weight limit on it's 4.8 pounds. So we shouldn't come anywhere close to that. Bluegill fishing. So we got a little worm here trying to escape, but this time I noticed him, so we're gonna get us another piece here. Now, there's not enough left to crawl at this point. I'm trying to thread this piece right on the hook. Bluegill have piranha-like teeth, man. They'll take chunks out of worms. Something soft like that. They'll take chunks right out of them. So I just didn't even know I had a bite last time. I don't know, unless maybe some bass are moving in, but let's see here. We should be able to get us another one. I need about, since I'd like to get 6 more if possible. Since I missed one for sure. I've got two now, which would, for me, I'll use, I'll get 2 fillets out of that, basically 2 halves and then a head. So I'll get 6 pieces of bait. I was hoping for 8 or 10. Again, going down to the Ohio River tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can see that. I don't know if some bass have moved in or what, but we went from getting some action there to nothing, so hopefully we can get us a couple more. I was hoping this was going to be literally 20 minutes and out with 8 or 10. Little float on here would probably make this better. So now a little less line wouldn't hurt. All right, stay out of the trees here. Get him over the right bucket this time. I actually saw him. That was more of a sight fish. Actually, he came swimming up by here, so I saw him, so I threw right on him. And he grabbed it. Oh. All right, we got our first bass here. Now we will let him loose. Or he'll let himself loose. That's okay. A lot of fun, thank you, sir. Probably why the bluegill might be a little skittish. He's not really big enough to eat the bluegill I've been catching. So they may be okay, but when those bass start moving in, they get nervous. They get nervous. Bass can eat things a lot bigger than what you would think. Whoa, 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 oh my goodness. Big bluegill. Woo! Look at the size of that one, guys. That's almost enough to eat there. You could eat that one. Alright, came off in the bucket. That's what we need, in the bucket. That's a nice one. That's the biggest one I've caught here so far. This is my second time at this spot. I do fish Battelle Darby quite a few. It's a metro park. Something really big over there splashing around. I don't really want to hook something. That was That was a what the hell. That one and the bass both was pretty fun on this thing. All right, we got them. A little smaller, but that's okay. They're definitely ornery here. They got a lot of fight to them. First, they probably know they're getting going in the bucket, maybe. All right. That's 5. Try to get us a couple more here. Cane pole fishing, guys, for the kids. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting a kid a 13-footer like this. This is, especially with the trees and stuff. But and you want a little shorter line than this. But you're not having to worry about them. You can get them a kid's reel too, but a cane pole is fun. And again, you can actually just put a stick, take a stick and put some line on it and a hook and catch them this way as well. But you talk, people like ultralight, ultralight, ultralight. This is the original ultralight, my friends. This is the original. And my son had bought this at Walmart because it was in the discount aisle. And we're having some issues here with the tip going inside. So you got to kind of lock the tip out here. And kind of pull it out a little snug and it'll stick. And then when you want to collapse it, you just do the opposite. You just push it a little bit. I'm trying to watch my line. Any line movement, I'm pulling on it, but again, I didn't bring a float. A small float on this would probably be better. I'm really starting to see some big activity here. And I don't know if it's bass or what, but I've seen two big surfaces in the last few seconds here. All right. He went in the tree. Well, there he is. Let's get him over the bucket here. He's trying to be a little ornery as well. The spines on the back will get you a little bit. The hook is what I'm more worried about. I don't want to get the hook in past the barb. So, let's try to get us a couple more here. They are biting really well, which is great. good stuff. Even fishing like this, I'm having a lot of fun. Glad to be out here doing it. Again, make sure you are subscribed, hit that notification bell. We are headed down to the Ohio River tomorrow, so that video will be coming out at some point after this. Once we make that trip down and do all that, I think I got another couple pieces of worm in here. Let's look. We'll get them all fired up here. All right. We lose this next worm, we'll call it a day. Oh, I did miss another one there. I'd like to. It's super exciting here. Again, my son had bought this for Walmart in the discount aisle, and I don't know if he's ever used it or not. But I saw it with the fishing gear, so I was like, man, that'd be a good time for this, and it is. I'm glad I brought it. And again, it folds all the way up to about, I don't know, 3 feet long. So it's 13 feet fully extended. It's called a Black Widow. It was probably expensive at one point, but again, it was in the discount aisle at Walmart for $5. And he basically said he bought it for like a joke or whatever, but this is a very efficient way to fish these bluegill sitting right on the bank. Missed another one there. You don't miss a lot with this octopus hook, this size 10. It's the right hook for these bluegill. Your arm will get tired from holding this thing out because it's so long. Not that it's heavy, just because of how long it is. I can hold it by the end one hand, but if you do that for a minute, it starts putting a little weight on your wrist there. I'm seeing some activity out there, but I'm not getting any bites as of yet. So thing's so long it hits the tops of trees if you're not careful. Give us one more, guys, one more. Let's go. I don't want to use another worm, but I will. Oh, this one there. Let's fix our worm here. It's about chewed off here. Get it back up on our hook here. Quite a few bug bites today, even though I came pretty early, but we're in the woods here. The skeeters are still out. It hasn't gotten cold enough to get rid of them yet. Mosquitoes. So, unfortunately for me, I'm allergic, and the bites, they don't hurt, but they get knotted up. They turn into like almost looks like a bee sting, and then I end up scratching them and everything else. And I make them worse because I do not leave them alone. Had a couple misses there, now nothing again. Maybe they got smart. Maybe they got smart. Alright guys, there we go. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for the trip coming up soon to over to the Ohio River, which is number 2. Top 8 places to fish in Ohio, with Lake Erie being number 1. So I appreciate you. Until next time, have fun fishing. I'm out of here.